Hello and welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to follow my journey to review all 1000 Looney Tunes shorts and give this video a like as well. So this is a review for Bosko the Drawback, released in 1932. It's the 43rd in the series and it's directed by Hugh Harman. Now, this is not a restored print, I just simply made my own Frankenstein version of all different versions. So you've got the restored opening print. This is from One Thing, and we get a decent-ish picture, as you can see right here, from the Nickelodeon screening that happened back in the late 90s. Now, in case you haven't seen this one, and there's a good chance you haven't because it is a pretty obscure short, and it hasn't had a proper home release as far as I'm aware. It might have, but yeah, it's not one that I'm fully aware of. But all it is that Bosko is a star football player, and we see him play football with all these other characters, and we just see all these random gags happen. As with any Bosko, it's not really that in-depth, but we'll discuss that in a moment. Now, due to a request by Warner Brothers Legal, I had to take down the original audio commentary, as this short is actually still under copyright. I mean, I'm sure you can still find it on Dailymotion or whatever to watch, but in any case, first up you're going to see a re-edit of my original commentary, thanks to my good friend Blue Genocide for doing that, and he also threw in a nice little joke at my expense, so thanks once again, Blue. And I'm also going to provide some new thoughts, as this print is a lot better than the one I did in the original version, so grab some popcorn and enjoy. But I just wanted to quickly mention that, yeah, the whole copyright thing on the previous Bosko cartoon has been resolved. I did dispute it and they agreed, you know, it was for educational reasons.
You'll be sorry!
Would the bird really be that happy? I like how they're trying different, camera angles and whatnot. So at least, yeah, they're trying new things. And, you know, they're getting better. I mean, compare this one to the first Boskos, and yeah, there's definitely a difference. But here's the gag that they repeated, where they just had like a triangle. Because why not? So yeah, Bosko the Drawback. He mentions a name here, like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. But instead of mentioning the next one, we get a title card, the Four Horsemen. I don't get it. Like he talks in the first part, but then there's a title card for the second. And yes, I get the jokes, even though I'm not as familiar with American football. But anyway, Bosko the Drawback. Definitely one of the better ones of this year. At least we've got some nice running gags and whatnot, and it has an actual ending, which is always good to see. But this is weird. So was that like an egg the whole time? Patriotism egg? I don't know. Do the symbols, but you gotta love that. So one thing I was trying to figure out is, what is this referring to?
I get a lesson, huh?
So in looking into it, the best I could gather is that there was a radio personality by the name of Anthony or Tony Wons, W-O-N-S, and he would always say, you know, are you listening, when he would talk to people during his radio show during the Great Depression. And from what I'm also reading, he received thousands of fan letters. He was apparently pretty popular, but now, if this is the case, very, very obscure. Easily one of my favourite bits is this press guy who's just typing frantically trying to keep up with the game, and I imagine that's what a lot of news reporters are. But have a look at what the typewriter does to him. The typewriter ends up having its retaliation by saying "nerds." And in the original print that I had, it was so bad I couldn't even read that. And that's why, yes, this is not a full restoration, but at least here I can actually read it, and I can tell you the word "nerds" was a definition of just like you're nuts or crazy. Well, it looks like Mickey Mouse didn't age gracefully. I'd imagine this would have been them just having a bit of fun against Walt, who told them to stop doing those Foxy cartoons. But who knows? But look at this effect. This effect is absolutely incredible. Just we got some real dedicated crowd members in this game, I can tell you that. But you know, if this cartoon seems familiar to you, you might be familiar with Freddy the Freshman, which is something that is easily seen that's in the public domain, and this one definitely reuses a lot of animation, but again, I've mentioned this numerous times, and probably some of you following this channel for ages are sick of me saying this, but yeah, these are not designed to be watched like binge watching, so a lot of the audience members would know or care. But as we see some more Mickey Mice trying to get into the game. And how many times have we seen this gag in future cartoons? I mean, I can't blame this cartoon for it, of course, because it happened before them, but yeah, I've seen it many times afterwards, and to be honest, they do it better, but again, that's not the fault of this cartoon or anything like that. So, as we see, my favourite butt gag. Now, I know next to nothing about college football or even American football, except for maybe the Super Bowl, but one thing I did find out is this whole Notre Dame reference, or the Hunchback and the Four Horsemen, it relates to the Notre Dame college football team that was pretty big at the time, from what I understand. Again, I'm not an expert, but hey, the gags are funny, and that's a good thing in this case, because even if you don't get the reference, it's still pretty funny. So my favourite part is easily this massage sequence. I'm not sure who animated it, but given that Bob McKimson's credited, I wouldn't be surprised if it was him, but please don't quote me on that. I'm just guessing based on the volume of the character and just how it's animated, but regardless of who ended up doing it, I mean, it's really, really solid work, and it's perhaps the most dimensional I've seen the character in any of his shorts up until now. It's really, really good. So what would I rate this one? I mean, I don't want to be too harsh, because it definitely doesn't match up to later Looney Tunes or anything like that, but for a Bosco, it is one of the better ones in my view, similar to Riding Bosco. Yeah, it reuses stuff from a previous short and blah blah blah, but it's still entertaining. That's why I'm giving it 7 out of 10, even though I know next to nothing about football. But in any case, I hope you've learned something new here, and I hope you enjoyed it. So until next time, take care.